My name is Dr. P.C.Patel, Professor and Chief Soil Health Specialist on Agriculture University and Paru University and Mati Private Limited, Anand, India. So today, the topic of my YouTube is managing soil health for higher crop production and sustainable soil. Soil health. Good soil health means good human health. Soil health is an inherent characteristic of soil. Healthy soil ensure optimum moisture, significant amount of beneficial microorganisms, optimum nutrients, and lower level of toxicity due to heavy metal and pesticide, plant productivity, and removing greenhouse gases from the atmosphere through sustainable agriculture. Soil health management. Organic matter stop leaching of the chemical fertilizer, thereby improving fertilizer use efficiency. The living world in the form of microbes and small animals are nourished by the organic matter. So the food of the microorganism and small animals is organic matter. Soil fertility is dependent on the physical, chemical, and biological properties of the soil. Recycling the carbon in the form of compost is the best sustainable way to maintain soil fertility. Soil brings us food, clothing, shelter. Soil also keeps water cycle healthy. Soil health management. So healthy soil from soil health management system. So for keeping the healthy soil, we have to manage soil in a better way. So economic benefit, reduce input and cost, lower risk from weather and pest, higher yield and productivity. So when the soil is healthy, then we are getting the higher yield and crop productivity. Environmental benefits, nutrient and microbial enhancement, soil and water retention, soil structure improvement. Soil health management, reducing risk through best soil health management practices in organic crop production. You know that at present, the government of India and throughout the world, there is a more emphasis on organic crop production, organic farming, natural farming, regenerative agriculture, and biological farming, living farming. Sustainable soil management practices. Sustainable agriculture is defined as the ability of continuously crop production system without environment degradation. So you know that in India the population is about 142 crores. So we have to produce sustainable crop production, because in sustainable agriculture production we are getting the continuous crop production system, and there is no environment degradation effect. To fulfill the target of sustainable agriculture, the following activities should be taken into consideration. Combined use of organic and inorganic fertilizer increases crop production and improves soil fertility. Means we should have to apply integrated nutrient management system. Beneficial microorganisms can affect on water use efficiency and nutrient ability to plant, phytohormone production, soil nutrient cycling, and plant resistant to environmental stresses. Conservation tillage and other practices can potentially increase growth profitability by reducing input and labor cost and mitigate the climate change as compared to the conventional tillage. In conclusion, sustainable land management, judicious use of fertilizer, water and pesticide, effective crop culture through precision agriculture is the future direction for sustainable agriculture in the world. There are 6 ways to improve managing soil health for higher crop production. So first, map and monitor soil nutrients. So soil analysis is the first step in soil fertilizer management. It tells us the initial status of plant nutrients. Accordingly, plan for applying nutrient in soil. Soil provides necessary information about nutrient presence and availability in soil. Optimized nutrient management helps farmers improve the economics and profitability of their cropping operation. Healthy soils are the basis for healthy food production. Soil quality directly linked to food quality and quantity. So you can see here the major nutrients, so and secondary nutrient. So on the basis of the soil analysis, we should have to supply the balanced nutrition in soil. Why test soil health? So at present, I am serving at Chief Soil Health Specialist, Mati Agromart Private Limited, or Sevama Agri Clinic and Agri Laboratory, Bhavnagar, Gujarat, India. So at Sevama Agri Clinic and Agri Laboratory, Bhavnagar, we have the ICP OES machine. It is a costly instrument, about 1 crore. So you know that that machine has a high productivity and ease of use to produce reliable data with low cost of analysis and high quality data. So we can monitor the soil nutrients from soil, plant, as well as water. Soil health can be tested by chemical test. It should be chosen based on production system. The basic parameter pH, nutrient status, pK, and magnesium and soil organicness should be tested regularly. The farmers are adopting intensive farming, use of high analysis fertilizer, that is urea, ammonium sulfate, DAP, SSP, muriate of potash, and so on, and use of very small quantity of organic matter or meager quantity of organic matter. The soil showed multi-nutrient deficiency. Therefore, there is need to testing of soil periodically. Last 3 years, we are testing this soil and water samples of the farmers throughout the India, and we are observing that at present we are observing the multi-nutrient deficiency, either phosphorus or potassium, nitrogen, then sulfur, magnesium, zinc, iron, and so on. The farmer are requested to carry out soil analysis before sowing planting of crop to know initial nutrient status in soil, and then apply manure and fertilizer in soil as per soil test value for higher crop yield. It helps to prevent soil degradation. Sevama Agri Clinic and Agri Laboratory, Bhavnagar, Gujarat, India. Please carry out soil, water, and plant testing for nutrient as well as plant disease diagnosis, bacteria, fungi, and nematodes from soil and plant samples. So recently we have started last 1 year. So our firm is Mati Agromart Private Limited, Bhavnagar. Our helpline number +91 63 59 59 59 59. Second one, promote crop diversification and crop rotation. So benefit of crop diversification: crop production 14%, pest and disease control 63%, water quality 50%, and soil quality 11%. So crop diversification enhance biodiversity and ecosystem services. Promote crop diversification. So don't grow similar crop in a similar land for a year and year, but you can grow the diversified crop production. Then crop rotation. So you know that in a 1 year crop cycle, we should have to include legume or pulses crop in a cycle. So legume crop provide feed and food. It fixes legume fix the atmospheric nitrogen released in the soil, high quality organic matter, and facilitate soil nutrient circulation and water retention. Third one, add soil organic matter to boost soil health. You know that India is located in tropical climate. So there is more heat in summer and kharif season, monsoon season, or rainy season. So the rate of decomposition of organic matter is fast, and moreover, in India the population is greater and the irrigation facility more than 50%. So the farmers are growing the intensive cropping. Obviously, the uptake of the nutrients is greater from the soil. So organic matter is depleted, and in India, about average 0.3 to 0.45% organic matter. So it is lower one. For that, I have prepared the one YouTube importance of soil organic matter to soil fertility and physical condition. So my YouTube, so it is a URL. We can see, so it is a organic matter, farmyard manure. Organic matter and soil fertility. There is a relationship with the organic matter and soil fertility. Soil fertility is one of the most important soil characteristics for crop growth. Crop requires nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, other nutrients at the right levels to grow properly and yield well. Fertile soil retains moderate to high level of nutrient needed for plant growth and growing. Both soil organic matter and mineral composition influence inherent fertility. Soil organic matter also release nutrient as it decomposes. You know that when the organic matter is decomposed, then it releases the nutrient for the plant growth. The nutrient in organic matter cannot be used by plant until they are released through the process called mineralization. So mineralization is very, very important, and mineralization taken place with the help of the microorganism. As soil organisms such as bacteria and fungi break down organic matter, some of the nutrient mineralized are used for their growth, means microorganism growths, and some are left available for plant use. Decomposition of organic matter. Microorganisms digested organic matter, release carbon dioxide and water. Carbohydrates are first to be consumed. Lignin become humus and slowly broke down. Decay organisms need oxygen, and microorganisms use oxygen to oxidize the different compounds. First breakdown is quick and require weeks or months. Well-drained soil will lose 1 to 3% humus a year to oxidation. How to make the land more and more fertile? So first point is rational use of chemical fertilizer. Second one, increase the amount of organic fertilizer in foods. Supplementation of beneficial bacteria. So you know that farmers have used excessive use of chemical fertilizers. So at present, the population of the microorganism has been declined in soil. So many companies have started to prepare the biofertilizers and supply to the farmers, and the farmers are getting the benefit for increasing the crop production and improve the soil fertility. And it also save the costly chemical fertilizer. Increase the application of soil conditioner. So biochar is a soil conditioner. So biochar role in soil fertility and nutrient transformation. So I have worked on biochar, and it is a good thing. It is inert matter, and once you are applied in soil, it remains for 50 to 100 years. It improves the soil fertility. It increases the water holding capacity and cation exchange capacity, because the surface area of the biochar is very small, just like clay particle. Fourth one, include micronutrients in soil fertilization plant to avoid deficiency. Why the multinutrient deficiency are observed in Indian soils? The main reason is apply of being imbalanced fertilizer in soil without knowing initial nutrient status in soil. So we have discussed. So here you can see that in 1950 we have only nitrogen deficiency. Then year by year in 1962 element, 1973 element, and at 2010 and 2025 we have observed the deficiency of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, then sulfur, zinc, Fe, Mn, copper, boron, molybdenum, and so on. So we are observed at present multi-nutrient deficiency, and the crop productivity of the crop has been declined. Therefore, Government of India has started more emphasis on organic farming and advice to the farmers that start natural farming and add more organic matter and use natural resources for improving the soil fertility, compost, then crop residue, and so on. Then importance of micronutrient in agriculture production. Micronutrients are required by the plant in lesser quantities, yet essential for the plant growth and survival. Micronutrients are essential elements that are used by plants in small quantities. Yield and quality of agriculture products increase with micronutrient application. Therefore, human and animal is protected with feed of enrichment plant materials. Each essential element only when can perform its role in plant nutrition properly, that other necessary elements are available in balanced ratio for plant. So we should have to carry out the soil analysis before sowing or planting of the crop, and on the basis of the soil test value, we should have to apply the manure and fertilizers in the soil so that soil get balanced nutrition in soil. So plant will take balanced nutrition from the soil, and we are getting the better crop growth and obtain higher crop production. So both are important: macronutrient, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulfur, and micronutrient, zinc, and copper, boron, manganese, molybdenum are important. So you can here see the Khera disease of rice is due to the zinc deficiency of rice crop. Then for that we have to apply 25 kg zinc sulfate per hectare in soil. And if we find on a standing crop, then we should have to spray 0.5% zinc sulfate solution to the rice crop. Then copper deficiency in rice, you can see. Then copper deficiency in wheat crop. Then manganese deficiency symptom in corn and wheat. It was also observed in oat crop also. It is a iron deficiency in citrus. Then fifth one, use fertilizers wisely, assessing their quality. So we should have to purchase the fertilizer from the standard company like Gujarat State Fertilizer, then GNFC, then IFCO. So use chemical fertilizer manufactured by the standard chemical fertilizer factories like GSFC, GNFC, and IFCO. You know that at present, the people are mixing the fertilizers and we are not getting the crop response because the quality of the particular fertilizer is not good. Therefore, I am suggesting to the farmer that use standard chemical fertilizer for their crops. Apply balanced fertilizer in soil to take up balanced nutrient by the plant for healthy growth and higher crop production and soil sustainability. So you can see that application of balanced fertilizer based on the actual limitation of nutrient in the soil is very crucial to increase production and productivity of crop. You know that the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium ideal ratio is 2:1:1. So Here you can see that when the ratio is near to 2:1:1, that is 5.11 and 2.7, there we are getting the higher rice crop production. But the ratio when the nitrogen is greater, then the rice crop production means grain yield is lower. So we should have to apply the balanced nutrition. And how we can know? For that we have to carry out soil analysis, and as per soil test value, we should have to apply the nutrient in soil through manures and fertilizers or biofertilizer for the higher crop production. Fertilizer use and imbalance in India analysis of states. This has been based on the ideal combination or combination of NP, K is 4:1:2, means 2:1:1. And that any deviation from this norm constrain growth in productivity. I told and shown in rice crop production. It found that about 1/3 of the major states apply excess nitrogen. So in India, major states are apply excessive nitrogen doses, and 2/3 of the states use less than the required levels of nitrogen. And therefore, we are getting the low crop production, and you know that the average crop production of the rice and wheat is lower because we are not apply the balanced nutrition, because farmers are not bothered for the soil testing, and they are apply the nutrient in soil as per his desire or the advice of the fertilizer merchant. Fertilizer used in Indian agriculture is the impact on human health and environment. So overuse or misuse or imbalanced application of fertilizer, nutrient, and sheer negligence in the application of secondary and micronutrients have been responsible for lower utilization of applied nutrient, leaching to the accumulation of fertilizer nutrient in soil and or leakage to the environment, and thus causing environmental degradation and climatic changes. The compounded harmful effect of imbalanced fertilizer use are not only intensify soil and atmospheric pollution, but also impacting water bodies, eutrophication, and causing threat to biodiversity and human health. So at present, we are observing that in India, the peoples have the many diseases because there is a polluted water, and atmosphere is also not good because the farmers are use the excessive use of chemical fertilizer, pesticide and fungicide, and herbicide, weedicide to control the weeds, resulted in soil degraded, and the crop productivity has been declined, although they are adding the higher chemical fertilizer dose in soil. The farmers are apply the fertilizer dose excessively than the recommended dose of the state agriculture university, although they are not getting the higher crop production because they are not bothered for soil analysis, and they are only interested to add chemical fertilizer more and more, resulted in the farmer soil has been deteriorated, degraded, and the farmers are complaining that we are not getting the crop production response, although we are adding the higher crop production, higher crop, higher chemical fertilizer in soil. Therefore, judicious use of chemical fertilizer and water is required for obtaining a higher crop production. In excess irrigation water, then the soil is deteriorated and soil become problematic soils like alkaline soil. When the quality of the irrigation water quality is not good, so government of India started the drip irrigation method, and government of India gave 50 to 70% subsidy to the farmers. So farmers are requested uh, to install the drip irrigation system for irrigation. Similarly, I am advised to the farmers that before sowing or planting of the crop, you should have to carry out soil analysis, and as per soil test value, you should have to apply the manure and fertilizer which are deficient or marginal in soil to achieve the maximum crop production. Important of balanced supply of fertilizer to soil. Nitrogen being the motor of plant growth will usually show its efficiency soon after application. The plant develop a dark green color and grow more vigorously. However, unbalanced excess nitrogen in cereal rice may result in losing, greater weed competition, and pest attack with substantial losses of cereal or paddy or rice production. In other crop, it will decrease quality, particularly storage ability. So here you can see that excessive dose of the nitrogen is applied in rice crop. So there is a losing of the rice crop. And you know that in the rice crop, when we are harvesting the crop, then the machine, harvester machine is also not working. And there is a shattering about 15-20% of the rice grain. And if we use the labor, then they will require more as compared to when the crop was, as compared to rice crop is standing at the time of the maturity. So don't apply the excessive dose of the nitrogen fertilizer in soil. So similar to for the other nutrients. Importance of balanced supply of fertilizer to soil. It has been demonstrated that primary, secondary, or micronutrients, which are the most deficient in the soil, limit the yield and or affect the equality. They cannot be substituted by any other nutrient. So you know that there are 17 elements, and if your soil have zinc, iron, manganese, copper deficiency, then you can apply excessive dose of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. But that deficiency of the particular zinc, iron, copper, boron cannot be recovered, because for that we should have to apply the particular nutrient, and it is not substituted by nitrogen, phosphorus, or potassium fertilizer. Therefore, you should have to carry out soil analysis and as per soil test value. If the soil show deficiency of the particular nutrient, that nutrient we should have to apply in soil, either manure or fertilizer. Therefore, for good agriculture practices, balanced fertilization primarily means a supply of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in line with soil reserves, the requirement and expected yield of the crop, with the addition of secondary and micronutrients where necessary. So at present, we are observing the multi-nutrient deficiency, particularly most of the soils of the India. So the deficiency of the zinc, iron, and in cotton growing area, we are observing the magnesium deficiency. So soil analysis is very important, and I told that soil analysis is the first step for soil fertility management. Then sixth one, include alternative source of nutrients such as biofertilizers, use fertilizers. So you can see here type of biofertilizers: rhizobium, then azotobacter, azosporium, phosphate soluble bacteria, then mycorrhiza. Then other biofertilizer not covered in FCO. So biofertilizer, you can know that when you are applying the biofertilizer, azotobacter, azosporium, or rhizobium, or PSB, then it saves about 20 to 25% chemical fertilizers. It is cheap one, and it adds microorganisms in soil, so it helps in a native. It helps in native availability of the nutrient like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, then sulfur, zinc, iron, and so on. So it is a cheap source, and we should have to apply the biofertilizer in soil for the healthy soil and for higher crop production. Importance of biofertilizer: increasing harvest yield, improving soil structure, better water relation, lowering production cost, because you know that the cost of the chemical fertilizer is increasing. And I told that when we are apply the biofertilizer, it save 25% nitrogen. So for other chemical fertilizer nutrients, so the cost of the production has been reduced and we are getting more profit. Then fortified the soil, improving sustainability. Therefore, we should have to use the biofertilizer in soil, because you know that the farmer are using the excessive dose of the chemical fertilizers, fungicide, pesticide, so soil become dead. So we have to make the soil live, because 50 years back, our soil is a dynamic living thing. But we are responsible for make the dead soil. So globally, the farmers and scientists are using the natural farming, organic farming, regenerative farming, and biodynamic farming for to make the live soil and for higher crop production and for use and for improving the sustainability for the next generation. So thanks for listening to me. So if you have liked my video over YouTube, then don't forget to subscribe it. And if you have any problem related to soil health or any problem for the low crop productivity, then my name is Dr. P.C.Patel, Chief Soil Health Specialist. My email is patelpc1212@gmail.com and my mobile number is 9909022116. So thank you again.